What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another Asian Dota 2 match. This is from the ItsGosu Monthly Madness Tournament. Shouts to AC and Draskell for bringing us this excellent tournament, and of course, you can find it on ItsGosu if you want the latest coverage from that. But if you want a YouTube VOD brought to you by Dota Commentary Caster, hey, here I am, and with me is the ever so gorgeous Shred Kid.
Thank you for that, B-Ballin. I'm casting another match with B-Ballin. Looking forward to it. This time we're going to have Mineski versus DK. DK being one of my favorite teams to follow. So I'm really excited to this and really looking forward to it.
Alright, ready on pause?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. So, just to give you some background information, DK in their last four matches are 1-3. They've only been trusted. They've lost to IG, Zenith, and MUFC. Everybody was Zenith, but MUFC and IG. IG is starting to look more and more in shape, but DK definitely been struggling. They're definitely having a lot of trouble adapting to the metagame, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. What DK's been doing lately a lot of the time is they'll either perform in a completely just average, forgettable way, or they'll play godlike and just look absolutely unbeatable. And they have so much just raw talent on their team, and they've all their players have been around in the scene forever. But sometimes in Dota 2, it just doesn't happen for them. So we'll see how this game plays out.
Yep, they've also been on a bit of a losing streak in Dota 1 as well, but they are still very, very confident in both games. Hopefully they'll tone down some of their Dota 1 training so they can give us a really, really ridiculous showing at the International 2, because DK, I know, is a fan favorite among many Westerners and Easterners alike in the Dota 2 scene. Meanwhile, Mineski, they won the Mineski Infinity Opening Tournament, beating some teams I've honestly never heard of. And you know how many Pinot games I cast in Dota 1, and I would have heard of those teams, but I've never heard of any of those teams that they beat. And I forget who they were. I think they're 1-1. I forget who they beat and who they lost in the Masters. Oh, they lost to AL and they beat eHome. And I think that might have been in the midst when eHome was going through some rough patches, but still, Mineski performing relatively solidly. So they're going with mostly their standard Dota 1 lineup, but they have Jojiro instead of Nando playing in for them today. And it looks like I did not unpause, unfortunately. Wow.
Should I wait for you?
Well, I'm at 106, 107, 108, 109, 110.
I'm in like 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I'll just see the picks and bans as they come up on screen. But anyway, my bad. As you unfortunately are have to subjected to my railing for a little bit. But we see a Chaos Knight opening ban by Mineski, respecting the power of Chaos Knight. Very, very powerful chasing hero, but he's not seeing much success at all. I feel like Chaos Knight is really sort of a definition of extremism. He either performs really well or he just sucks horribly. And more often than not, he sucks because he doesn't win these days. Meanwhile, Chen is an opening ban by DK. I don't think Mineski really like to play Chen. They like to go with that tri-line with very aggressive mid-solo heroes and a top lane solo hero so they can get the double Battle Crow going in full regard. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Chaos Knight, just to be fully frank?
I think that right now he's a great hero. I don't think he's first pick worthy because it gives away too much of your opening strategy. Basically, you're saying we're going to dedicate a lot to this lane. We're going to try to kill people with this lane, and you're also saying we're not going to have that much AOE, which is really, I think it gives away too much information to open with him. I think maybe second or third pick he's fine, but I think opening with a Chaos Knight is fairly excessive, and you can get shut down in lane because of it.
Alright, Darkseer is the next ban, as Mineski did not really give too much time to think about it, and it's going to be up to DK if they've studied Mineski. They go with the standard Lycanthrope pick, and Naga Siren was unfortunately not released in this patch, so they do not have the natural counter pick with Naga Siren. But TA, I think, was just introduced in the last patch when this game was played. I'm not really too sure. I think this game was played about a week ago when TA was introduced. But anyway, I'm at 243, 244, 245, if that makes any.
Okay, just tell me when you get to 3.
Okay. So Lycanthrope, of course, not they banned immediately two very pushing heavy heroes, Milo and Mineski banning the Chaos Knight and the Darkseer. Very annoying heroes to deal with. Darkseer, of course, makes everybody very mobile, and Vacuum is one of the most overpowered skills in the game, even with such a long cooldown. Meanwhile, Nature's Pop is the final ban for Mineski in their first opening phase, as I am at 307, 308, 309, 310.
Okay, cool. We're perfect.
Awesome. So, yeah, let's see what DK decides to ban. Well, they decide to go for some more Pinot bans with the Queen of Pain, with a Puck. We've seen a lot of Puck recently where they decide to ban a Templar Assassin if she's in the pool. It really remains to be seen, but right now there are a lot of heroes that still can be banned. There's Invoker, although Invoker's really died out recently just because I think he needs too much experience and games end too fast for him to really become a huge factor. Only against teams like IG, where Ferrari is, of course, dominant, and teams like Navi, where Dendi, of course, is ridiculous Invoker. Do we see much Invoker? Yeah, we see a Rubik ban. So, yeah,
Yeah,
what are your
it's
thoughts
fairly
on
good
just.
ban against the Pinoy team. They really love him. So
Yep, and as I said, that Invoker, and I don't think Invoker really fits Mineski's style. They like to be very aggressive, like to go all out ganking, just very highly mobile teams. It doesn't really overwork to them, but at least you could say they're consistent. And Invoker, I feel like, just requires too much time in the lane just to get enough experience. But still, Jay plays a solid Invoker nonetheless. He's definitely won a lot of games in Dota 1, but DK is an entirely different beast. They've played against Invoker many, many times. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Invoker recently?
Um, I think that well, a lot of teams switched over to playing QE Invoker immediately after that got changed because it was seen as such a huge buff. But from what I understand and from the games I've been watching, at least, almost everybody except for the Russian teams and Navi have switched back to QW Invoker simply because it allows more map presence and map control. I think QE Invoker is okay if you want to do an aggressive tri-lane and have that extra oomph to it. But most people have been playing QW, and I think with people playing QW Invoker again, he's first pick worthy. At least in my opinion. A lot of people disagree on this, and I don't remember if Jay plays QW or QE.
I think Jay actually plays QE for the most part. I do not think he likes to play that QW and go for like aggressive counter ganks. I think he likes to get a lot of levels to dominate the lane and just go for that. I think he likes to stay in lane for the most part.
Yeah, it would make sense with a Pinoy team having a QE Invoker just because they love to kill stuff. So
Yeah,
you get that early killing power with Sunstrike. But we see, wow, ROTK is really taking his time with this first pick.
yeah.
Um,
Will we see the ROT classic with the lone druid being picked up for burning, or will we see maybe more mobile and for morphing? But we see a Leshrac being picked up, and it's nice to see that Chinese are adapting to the current Dota metagame where Leshrac and Shadine, of course, so very strong in this scene at the moment. I see Earthshaker being responded. So we see an Ancient Apparition being picked up by Mineski, and in Dota 1, I've casted so much Dota 1 recently. I know all about that Ancient Apparition Earthshaker combination, and it just works really well in Tri-Lands.
it's amazing.
Yeah, and Ice Blast such
It's one of
useful
the
skill.
strongest lanes in the game, I think.
Definitely, in my opinion, Cold Feet just does so much damage. I see Anti-Mage being picked up for burning, so already interesting lineup. Would definitely see a fall off in terms of Anti-Mage here. It just takes a little bit too long to get going. He doesn't really have too much counter push, but definitely he's still a worthy pickup. Not really too sure if he would have been first three pickup worthy, but still, I guess they're tired of the Lone Druid for burning, and they're gonna give him more mobile carry who can potentially drain a lot of mana. And Mineski really loves their mana. So Shadow Demon, Leshrac, Anti-Mage opening up for DK. So what do you think this says about their lineup? What do you think they're going to go for?
Well, the they have to. DK, I think, is going to try to pick mobility. It's the reason why I think they didn't pick Syllabear is because Queen of Pain can kind of get in and kill him, and Invoker can get in his face and kill him. I think what they're going to try to do is they have two options to them open at the moment. So try to take the tier ones and then just avoid fights and get anti-mage charm. And I think that's what they're probably going to do. They also have the option of going ultra aggressive with Shadow Demon and Leshrac, but I really don't think that that's likely at all. That's something more we'd see a Russian team do, you know. Mineski, on the other hand, I think they picked up the ES to stop Zippo from getting him, just because DK likes to pick ES like every single game for Zippo. He's an amazing ES player. And honestly, I think they're going to play what most Pinoy teams like to play like and try to kill stuff. So we see an SK ban coming out. That's to prevent the SK Lash lane.
Yep, very,
And
very powerful lane.
yeah, they
And-
banned the Syllabear, so they're afraid of the turtling power of the Syllabear, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if Mineski would have picked up. Mineski and the Pinoy scene just really do not have a liking for Silver. And very surprisingly, even in Dota 1, they have a surprisingly high win percentage against Silver. Just because heroes like Queen of Pain, heroes like in ES and Ancient Apparition and Shadow Demon, heroes that the Pinoys love to play, they just perform so very well as Syllabear is starting to save up for his relic, and they just keep him down and down. They don't care if they like lose 3 or 4 heroes in the process. They will do all it takes to keep down the Syllabear. So that's definitely a strategy that's worked out for them in the past, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think they'd pick up Syllabear for themselves. But that won't matter in this game because he's gone. Meanwhile, Shadow Shaman is the responsive ban by Mineski, so preventing some disables, and a lot of disables out for DK already. They have a nice mixture of pushing, ganking, and late game. Broodmother is the last ban for Mineski.
Makes a
Broodmother,
lot of sense.
Yeah, Broodmother,
Um,
very, very
they have
powerful
no
and
answer
pushing.
for Broodmother right now on their team. Leshrac can sort of deal with it, but not really. And if they get a Broodmother against the Anti-Mage, it's going to suck for Anti-Mage, frankly. So getting rid of it, I think, is a great ban because it
Templar
would have been an awesome
Assassin.
pickup from Mineski.
And it looks like Templar
Dire
Assassin was enabled in Cannon's mode, so it'll be interesting to see how they lane this. It'll be really, really interesting to see. Most likely we'll see a Tri-Lane Invoker, as odd as that sounds, because they need to have the Queen of Pain solo. Uh, they could put her in Tron. I just do not see Queen of Pain in Trons ever for the P-Noise. And they're going to have a Templar Assassin. Maybe she'll be in the Tron. I don't know. It's really difficult to call out the laning at this point in the game. But rest assured, there will be a Tri-Lane. No doubt about it. If there's a P-Noise game, there will be a Tri-Lane.
Yeah, I mean, they have the option of doing something weird with
5
putting like
seconds
an
remaining.
Invoker ES lane, which you see sometimes. It's kind of rare. Basically, just ES is like bodyguards for
Resolve
him on the
tab.
hard lane, but it's almost likely that we'll see a tri lane because that's what they love to do. And yeah, I was gonna say we're probably gonna see a passive hero coming out from DK, and then we see the Lich immediately. And this really cements my opinion that they're going to try to establish a small early control and then sit back and farm. It's kind of what Lich does. He gets early game control, and then he just sits on it. So.
Yeah, definitely the case, and as fast as Burning can farm, and he can farm very, very fast, Lich will only help that in that regard. Lich Anti-Mage, of course, a strong dual lane, but we might see an Anti-Mage Shrine as well just to protect
10
him
seconds
on that
remaining.
safe lane. A little bit, what do you think about Venomancer as a counter to
5
TA, and of course
seconds
to ES with
remaining.
those wards canceling and dagger? I think I would have liked to see a Venomancer being picked up, and there's still an option,
Resolve
but
tab.
I think Venomancer is just one of those heroes who just does so well against TA, draining those refraction charges like nobody else.
Well, I think that Venomancer was a great pick against those two, but I think the reason why I like Lich better is because if well, I mean, we were talking about it ourselves. Mineski is going to run into experience problems. They already have three extremely experienced
Crystal
dependent heroes on the field. Um,
Dire
and
team pick.
frankly, what that forces you into is you're going to pick someone else who gets no experience to try to make up for that. Lich can deny the people who already have experience or who need it. And for the people who aren't going to get experience, like squishy supports, Lich can nuke them down so easily. And that's why I like Lich above Venomancer in this situation. And we see them picking up a Crystal Maiden, which is that just hero who doesn't need experience, because frankly, that's what they need to do.
Yeah, and
10
if
seconds
DK managed to put their China up against the other China, as you see, ROTK, one of the standard heroes, the Puck, the Fairy Dragon, also likes Bat Rider, but still Puck, of course, with that AoE silence, and I always maintain, against Punoiz, I think Puck is one of the most powerful heroes in the game. Dream Call, of course, messes up their positioning so much, holding them in place, allowing them not to escape, and winning grip just so important, and of course, Puck extremely mobile, so I like Puck in any game against the Pinoys, and I'm surprised that Pinoy teams do not ban him outright, just to be brutally honest, because he has a ridiculous win percentage. But anyway, just to introduce the players and the teams, you have Zippo playing Lich, Burning playing the Anti-Mage Long DD,
Prepare for
playing the
battle.
Shadow Demon Super, playing the Leshrac, and ROTK playing the Puck. Want to introduce Mineski?
Absolutely. We have Power Color, or sorry, 716 on the Invoker. We have Jojiro on Queen of Pain. We have that looks like PvP. My glasses aren't on. Oh, RR. I'm so sorry. On
No big deal.
Crystal Maiden and Jay on the Templar Assassin, along with Woots on the Earthshaker.
So it's interesting to see, just right off the bat, I thought when they picked up the Invoker with the first deck, I thought Jay for sure would have picked it up. But instead, we're going to see Jay playing the Templar Assassin, and Jay is their sole mid player, and looks like he's going to be playing safe lane. So Mineski might not go for the stand try and might have a roaming Earthshaker. And I think this is the smart choice, because if they match up against a Lich in their Trine, they're just going to have a miserable
They're gonna get
time.
slammed.
Yeah, and they're just going to get no experience. But it looks like they're adapting, and they've probably taken some lessons. Keep in mind, they did beat eHome recently. They did lose to Absolute Legends, but Absolute Legends has been on the up and up ever since their horrendous streak for a bit. But this should be making for a very interesting matchup. How will Mineski use their mobility and try to control the game, or will Burning just become too difficult to stop in the late game? And I think in terms of turtling, DK is a pretty strong lineup. Leshrac, Puck, pretty good in terms of turtling. Shadow Demon, strong with the poison stacks. But yeah, I mean, if Mineski wants to if they get the experience up and they get a fast blink dagger on the TA, it'll be pretty difficult to stop. And Anti-Mage, of course, one of those heroes just gets completely ignored. The spell shield is to that meld and the huge amount of physical burst damage
30
that the Templar
seconds to
Assassin does.
battle.
And it looks like what's going to happen to me is that they're going to do Bodyguard ES for the top lane solo and have Quap go up there with him, which is obviously a way that you can play ES as like the bodyguard on the hard lane. It's fairly popular in China. Still not entirely sure about this, but I think that the core hero from each team, we're going to see TA being incredibly important for Mineski, as you mentioned, and I think Puck is going to be huge for DK. If Puck can do what he's supposed to do in this game, I think that Mineski are going to have a really hard time trying to control team fights.
Yeah, I think Puck is one of those ridiculous hard carries to Queen of Pain. And Queen of Pain, even in Dota 1, is not performing very, very well. She's been losing a lot of games straight. And there was a period in time in Dota 1 and in Dota 2 where Queen of Pain's by the penalized teams would go ridiculous, like 22 and 1s, 21 and 0s. But now they've just been selling momentum. I think a large reason of that is just because of Puck. And Queen of Pain does not get high level blinks, so she's pretty easy to gank if she's kept down. And against a Leshrac and a Shadow Demon combination, she should have a relatively easier time in terms of getting experience rather than a Lich anti-mage combination. I see ROTK being harassed immediately by RR, even though he picked up the haste, and he's going to be forced to pop a salve or eat some more tangos. Looks like he's going to salve up, already using his salve and a tango.
Yeah, and I think that ROTK is going to be happy, at least in his lane, for the way that it turned out, because he's not getting tri-laned against. That's always brutal as Puck. Puck can do okay against dual lanes, but against tri-lanes, it's much harder to get that experience, which you really desperately need. So I think he'll be happy with his lane. He shouldn't die, I think. He might have some trouble once TA hits 6, though. We'll see.
You know who's not going to be happy? 716. Anti-mage and Lich, what a
Oh,
brutal
God.
combination.
Yeah.
And of course, Lich can just leave the lane anytime he wants. Oh, pick up a rune here and there. And of course, we do not see the double courier by the Pinoys. I'm frankly shocked and odd. I might have a heart attack. You might have to take the solo for a bit because there's no two couriers. A little bit flabbergasted.
Now, the first thing that I thought when Valve introduced new couriers is that, oh my god, the Pinoys are going to they're all going to have a different courier, and they're going to have 5 different couriers flying around. But, looks like that's not going to happen this game. And we see a little bit harass coming out from mid lane on 716, but nothing too huge.
Meanwhile, Queen of Pain, level 2 Shadow Strike and Blink, but Queen of Pain's just take 2 points into Shadow Strike, max Queen of Pain, and unfortunately pretty easy to gank because she doesn't take too many points into Blink. Meanwhile, 716 having a miserable time, DK burning, getting a little bit of harassment as the poor man shield has 2 tangos and of course can borrow the Lich's regen anytime he wants. And looks like Invoker took off the first blood with the Sunstrike. Do not know how ROTK died. Can I recap? I did not. I was not watching.
Oh no, he was fairly far away from me, so I missed that one too.
Yeah, but you can see that Invoker picking up early gold, but still not much experience. Exhort already paying for itself, but right now, ROTK, like you said, should have a relatively easy time. Meanwhile, Crystal Main picks up a double damage and is going to do some stacks and some pulls to get as much experience as possible. It's going to come down to Jay. If Jay can pick up a last Blink Dart, Mineski be okay. And looks like he's on his way to doing that.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why they chose to put him in the safe lane as opposed to Invoker. I think that they were expecting the dual lane mid, and I think in their lineup, it's more important to have TA get farm than Invoker, because Invoker will utilize farm fairly well against DK, but TA will just slam for their heroes. So we'll see.
Meanwhile, there's a bit of an engagement on the top lane, as looks like Refraction's going to be dying. But yeah, Shadow Strike into a Fissure block, and the Sunstrike did whiff, but looks like Wootsmith get enough mana for another Fissure, and looks like Jojaro picks up the last hit. And meanwhile, Super is just content to farm up in the meanwhile, but still, nice job by the Queen of Pain, picking up a kill this early on, going to give her some nice gold, pick up the bottle to start battle crowing. And meanwhile, Burn is getting harassed quite heavily, so looks like this Lich anti-mage combination not being as successful, but no anti-mage, or Invokers being sent back to the fountain, so it's all good in that eyes. Meanwhile, Earthshaker doing this time take a little bit of experience, nicely identified by Woods to pick up as much experience as possible, especially in this ridiculously difficult lane.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that they're gonna run into trouble really with Invoker getting sent back to base and being only level 2, almost 4 minutes in. That's gonna be an issue for them. I'll be impressed with 716 if he manages to come back and be that dominant force that we sometimes see Invokers are. For the most part, I think that they're gonna keep him under control and he's just gonna be out there. He won't be dominating.
Meanwhile, the rune spawns on top lane, so Lich's little trek was all in vain. Earthshaker's going to pick up the rune, but Burning is nonplussed. 27-17, and he's farming ridiculously well. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain does not have the bottle, so he's just going to pick up the rune. Not seeing the usual bottle crow, pretty shocking in terms of Pinoy play, as ROTK level 4, so Puck doing pretty well as far as lanes goes. So 2-0 in favor of Mineski, but I feel like DK, they're playing the lanes pretty solidly.
Oh, absolutely. I think DK right now is winning the laning phase.
Yeah, definitely. You see RR coming around cast Crystal Nova just for a bit of harassment, but ROTK should be A-okay, as Yep, just some more harassment. Level 3 Shadow Demon, level 5 Leshrac, so Super doing nice. And you can't underestimate a farm with Leshrac. He just becomes so powerful.
Oh god, he deals so much damage. He deals the early mid-game damage with the Edict, and then you get the Pulse Nova up. And he's always going to be a threat at all times in the game until ultra late game. But Super's going to be an issue. He's one of my favorite players in that he's an aggressive Chinese player. Oh, I am so sorry, I missed that kill, but
Nah,
they
I
went on
caught it.
Joker mid.
I caught it. So we just saw Frost Nova into a couple of hits by the anti-mage. It looks like Woods is going to be in trouble on the top lane. He's getting EX Soul Catchers just doing so much work. And looks like Earthshaker will be able to escape A-OK. Jojura, Blink is cooling down, so he should be able to escape as well. As Shadow Strike dispelling a bit of Super. Fissure coming in. It looks like Jojura did a nice job baiting as long as possible. Picks up kill on Super, and Earthshaker picks the last hit, but no, Jojura just blocked in by the creeps and the Fissure. Caught between a rock and a hard place, literally. And Earthshaker picking up some experience, but they did lose the Queen of Pain. But Mineski keep up with the kills, but still this moon lane just going to become a huge issue. I wonder if they're going to start sending gank parties, because Burning, he's going to become a big issue. And I don't think even if farm TA is one of those really good heroes who matches up against anti-mage really strongly. But considering how fast now well Burning's farming, and considering he picked up the last hit on the Invoker, it might be too difficult for Jay to stop him by himself.
Oh, every team he plays against DK, or even before he played on DK, eHome, knew that if you want to win the game, you cannot let Burning do what he wants, because he'll just get ridiculous items up ridiculously fast. So I'll be surprised if they don't gank him, or at least start ganking him soon, because something has to be done about him. Even if it's not a gank, just start putting pressure on mid lane. He's got his treads and Ring of Health now, which is going to give him a lot more stability. And something really needs to be done about him.
Looks like Soul Catcher is being dropped on the Queen of Pain, and the Edict just doing so much damage, below half HP. But nice defensive fissure being casted. New Invoker is forced to jungle, poor guy. Just having a miserable time. Looks like ROTK might get a bit harassed. He has full mana. The orb is on cooldown. We'll be able to cast it. Sunstrike coming in. Will he get the last hit? No. And ROTK is going to bottle up. Will he pick off RR in the midst of that? DK Burning manages to teleport back in, and now Jay's in a lot of trouble. Frost Nova and the Dream Coil being used, and Lich picks up the last hit. So right now, I think it's safe to say Mineski is losing in slaying phase, except on the top lane, and looks like Queen of Pain might be in a little bit of trouble. So yeah, the lanes are not shaping up to Mineski's liking, but Mineski, one of those mid-game oriented team fight lineups, as 716 is going to be attacked furiously on that mid lane. Burning picking up a killing spree so early on. This is not looking too good.
That's the worst feeling when you're trying to play an EXP dependent hero and you're just getting chain killed by the Lich and the carry. Like I said, I feel bad for the guy, I really do. But something that's working out kind of okay for Mineski is on their top lane. ES has saved Queen of Pain, I think, 3 times so far with nice fissures. And that bodyguard ES thing that they're doing is working out really well. And we see CM transferring up. Are they going to try to tri-lane, or are they going to try to gank mid off of this?
Oh, Long DD is trapped in the fissure. Sunstrike coming in does a lot of damage. Long DD does take the fall to the Screen of Pain. Jojura is going to be forced to retreat because he's very low HP, but still picking off Shadow Demon, picking off Super from time to time. And Super knocking as much farm still picked up the Arcane Boots. Probably going to need a Bloodstone, as we see Leshrac's commonly go for. But I haven't seen too many Chinese Leshrac's, to be brutally honest, so I'm not going to pretend to say, oh, I expect this item. I just don't know.
I don't think that he's going to go for Bloodstone.
Okay.
I'm fairly sure, and I might be wrong, but I don't think that Super likes to build Bloodstone on Leshrac.
This is why you get co-casters, guys. As Puck is level 7, meanwhile Invoker level 4. Oh no. 716 is going to be in a lot of trouble. No points in Quasa. Cannot even Ghost Walk out of there. Earthshaker and Crystal Lane going to come into retreat. Dream Coil catching 2 heroes. Looks like 716 will be initiated on Fissure doing a lot of damage. Meter being dropped, doing basically nothing. ROTK manages to blink in with a 10 Crystal Lane pick off the ROTK. No, Burning is going to get another double kill. Queen of Pain picks off the Crystal Maid, but now is going to go on the offensive. Oh no, Jojuro. Will you die to Burning? Oh, don't say it not so, as Woots drops a fissure. Did not hit Burning. If he hit Burning, I think Burning might have died. Sunstrike coming in. Just too low leveled, man. Too low leveled. Otherwise, that Sunstrike would have cleaned Burning out.
No, yeah. I mean, like I said, Burning is one of those players who just gets out of control, and he does it fast. And kills on top of the farm, really, TA is going to have some amazing play to get him back under control, because Queen of Pain doesn't do that much against the anti-mage, as we just saw. He man-fought her. He did have a DD, but he man-fought her at really low HP, so... Right now, I think this game is in Burning's control.
Yeah, but I still maintain we've seen games where TA has fought anti-mage very, very well. In Dota 1 at the very least. It wasn't burning anti-mage, but it was an anti-mage. Burning anti-mage, of course, probably smarter than that, but still TA, pretty valuable hero against anti-mage just because he pierces through the armor. But still, I think the biggest problem is what will Invoker do in this game? Like, what do you think 716 should do? Should he just like start playing support? I think he'll just be stealing too much experience at this point in the game, and he's really given no other options. And this is sort of why we don't see Invoker's getting as much respect as Crystal Main Meteor and Frost Nova being dropped, but they're not going to be able to chain stun Burning. But they are keeping him back, but Burning has Perseverance, going to be able to regen up, going to pick up a pretty fast Battle Fury, 56 and 25. But yeah, what do you think poor Invoker should do?
Well, there's several options that you can do when you're really, really getting slammed as Invoker. And what we saw him do is incredibly unusual. He has no points in Q. He has 1 point in W. Oh, kill going on right there. Very fast. Edict. Bernie's not going to get the last hit. It looks like Zippo will, but CM just gets obliterated. Sorry I talked over that, but what is going to happen with Invoker is now he picks up 1 in Q, but it's because he wanted to get Meteor out, and I think one of the options which you have is if you're not doing well, you just get Alacrity out, and you can Alacrity your carry. In this case, it would be TA. So we might see him try for that, but you're not going to get any of your huge damage spells up. So really, I think you become less of a damage dealer and more of a support caster.
Meanwhile, ROTK gets harassed by the TA. Looks like DK picks up another tower on the back of Super, and Queen of Pain teleports in, gets a Sonic Wave. Can he pick off Super? Yes, he will. Burning still on the offensive, going to pick up another kill. Tower and a kill for Burning. I think that was well worth it, killing the Queen of Pain in exchange for a Last Track and Lich, even if it was just Super Last Track. Still, I think Burning is just happy to take that exchange any day of the week. And more importantly, DK playing pretty aggressively. Definitely a departure from the early days of Dota 2, where they're just sort of passive a bit more and just played a bit more safe. But they picked up 2 towers. We know Mineski don't really have any map control to speak of and are forced to stick together. And this Invoker, again, just not being too huge a factor. Meteor just not doing anything. And these Meteors have been landing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you only have 3 points in E, even if it does land, it's not going to do that much. Obviously, Leshrac and Lich and all those are fairly squishy, but he's not going to have the levels up, like I said, to do a lot of points in Meteor. So I don't know what's going to happen once we get to mid game and he's not as big of a presence.
No, Woots gets. Edict just did so much work in that engagement as Frost Nova, and the Edict easily killed off Woots. And looks like DK, they're not content with 2 tier 1 towers. They want to get Burning as much room to farm as possible, and they're going to go on the offensive for this tier 1 tower as well. Now it looks like Super is just going to back off with full mana. Has a point booster, so might go for a Bloodstone nonetheless.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong. He might be going for it.
Yeah,
but,
we definitely see European
I think I
tracks.
was a few seconds behind you, which is why I was starting to talk at the beginning of engages, so I fixed that.
It's all good, man. That happens from time to time. Templar Assassin, only about 150 gold for finishing that Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, let's just check out the gold graph really fast. Pretty significant advantage for DK. Of course, 4k gold advantage. This early on is not too significant as DK is going to smoke up. Will they go on the offensive? They're trying to pick off Jay before he picks up the Blink Dagger, and looks like Jay senses something is up, is going to just back away as fast as possible. But still, 4k gold not too significant, but I think what's most troubling is a lot of that 4k has gone to Burning, who's 6-0-1 with a very early Battle Fury. And now this is Burning's wet dream. He's just going to be having a fantastic time. And look, the camp's already stacked, so he can farm neutrals as fast as possible. And Burning is just going to become more and more of an issue, and it's going to come up to TA to start shutting down that anti-mage. But TA is just being harassed so heavily on that bottom lane. She's not going to be able to pick up a Blink Dagger. Oh, no, she won't.
You do need that Blink Dagger to try to deal with the anti-mage. We got an engage coming down. Disrupt goes out. Fissure follows. Edict is doing huge damage to Crystal Maiden. ROTK drops the his ult. ES also ults. But it looks like we have Shadow Demon dropped and CM dropped. Lich ult goes off. That's going on Templar Assassin. The bounces are not there. Trap comes out. It's going to miss. And it looks like Super's going to try to deal damage to Jay. Super might go down. No, he won't.
Oh, 716, what are you doing?
ROTK is trying to run away from ES. Oh no, Super does go down. He's tanking Edict damage, and it looks like the engage is over. But no, CM's TPing in. We have a buyback from Invoker. CM goes. Puck phase shifts, a great phase shift, but oh, he's going to die to the Queen of Pain. Invoker Sun start going out, but it's not even needed. We're going to have her go down before it happens. So I Wow, I don't even know who won because I forgot who died and who bought back, but that was a lot of action very fast.
I think
The tower
Mineski
was defended.
I think Mineski won that engagement, but Burning was just like, alright, I'll chill over here. And Invoker did buy back, just to drop a Sunstrike. And unfortunately, did TA lose her Blink Dagger money? No, she picked it up in the midst of all that. But still, a little bit mistake by 716 in my brutal honest opinion. Just because Leshrac was so low HP, and 716 is just staying in the Ghost Lock. Of course, he wants to save himself, but the Templar Assassin, your hard carry, was surrounded on both sides by Super, who was one hit away from dying, but too far away from the Templar Assassin's attack range, so a little bit of misplay by 716. Hopefully it won't cost him. Fortunately for him, PA still managed to pick up the Blink Dagger, but all the while Burning just remained to be, was just hidden, just constantly pushing, constantly farming, and he's just having a grand old time on that lane. We'll just check out the gold graph really fast. 5k gold lead, still not too significant, but as Burning keeps on farming, and as Super slowly transitions to that as he picks up a soul booster, so pretty close to that bloodstone, and they still didn't pick off that tier 1 tower, so once they pick off that, it'll be really, really difficult for Mineski to come back. But still, they have a lot of mobile heroes, and Shaodi and Lich are not really too mobile to speak of. Neither is Leshrac. So if they manage to get isolated ganks, Mineski can come back, but the question is, will DK fall for them? And I don't really know if that's going to be possible.
I don't know.
Oh,
Like
huge
I said,
engagement, Blink Fissure, and Crystal Main Nova as ROTK died in the blink of an eye. And yeah. What are you going to say?
I was just going to mention about how Burning was farming. I mean, if you look at somebody who's as good as him, we see him, he switches the treads to Agi while he's hitting the stuff, switches it to Blink immediately, or to Intelligence immediately to Blink, and then he has it on Strength while he's in lane. I spoke over you again, but Shadow Demon going down in the mid lane to the TA combo.
Yep, and it was just a standard Fissure Blink TA, and this TA is really proving really effective as Super gets Sonic Waved and Scream of Pain, but now she's out of mana and looks like Burning might be able to pick up an easy kill. Well, a cold snap. Oh no, 716 ran up to Queen of Pain, took the anti-mage mana void damage, but Burning is out of mana, does not want to go in too aggressively, knows that he's 6-0-1 with well over 100 CS. My god. He might hit like 150 CS by the 20-minute mark, which is just insane. Holy crap.
He's got his VODs up too now.
Yeah, so now he can start regenerating mana and HP, of course, with that Battle Fury, and he's just going to be looking, and once he picks up BKB, it'll be really difficult for Mineski to stop, but this Templar Assassin has been doing a lot of work since he's picked up the dagger, picked up 2 easy kills, and as is typical with Pinot Templar Assassins when they get going, or even when they're not going, you know, they go for straight Deso. Screw BKB, just go straight Deso.
Yeah, they go hard.
Yeah, go big or go home, and they go big. And sometimes they go home, but still they went big. They're consistent. Meanwhile, ROTK has died a couple times, still 1200 gold away from finishing a Blink Dagger. Lich Bracer gonna save up for an eventual Django. Earner Shadows on the Shadow Demon. So still the supports not farming too well, but Burning and Super getting the majority of the farm, and it's really working out. Super has not finished a Perseverance, has been dying a couple times. Meanwhile, Burning's gonna go for that Roshan. And Mineski do not suspect a thing.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't show his Vlads in lane at all. So this should be a free Roshan, because if you blink in and you don't show your Vlads, they don't know that you can do it.
That is true. But meanwhile, DK, they have to be careful, because if their supports do get underfarmed, Anti-Mage is not a carry who can... Well, he can 1v5, but if your supports get pucked off very quickly, and the Mineski squad do have the burst damage, they have the Queen of Pain and the Templar Assassin to pick off supports very quickly, and Anti-Mage does not have stun, so this Roshan goal would go a long way in buffing up the supports of DK, and the gold graph is going to look... Oh, Mineski made a little bit of a comeback, but that gold graph going to start dipping down in favor of DK even more. And Mineski, they need to pick up a tower, and they need to do it soon.
Yeah, we see Queen of Pain is almost has her Aghanims. She'll have it with 600 more gold, which is, I think, a great item choice for trying to kill the squishies on DK. Puck, if he doesn't phase shift it, that's most of his health. Leshrac, he's got the soul booster up, but he's still not that tanky. And of course, Lich and Shadow Demon. So basically, if you're against Anti-Mage as Queen of Pain, engage going on, but it looks like they'll all back off.
Yeah, definitely the
smart decision. Most Queen of Pains like to either rush a Hex against Anti-Mage, or sometimes you'll even see a Necro Book. But I think what he's trying to do is say, hey, we can't deal with this Anti-Mage, so we're going to try to deal with his supports.
Well, Pinoy Quinnipians just don't give a shit. They go Bloodstone, they go Aghanims, regardless of the opposing team's
Oh,
lineup.
do they? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't watch
so
that much Pinoy Dota, so I
yeah,
wasn't
no,
sure.
I watch too much in Dota 1, so looks like ROTK gonna get Deafening Blast, but should be able to escape pretty easily. Meanwhile, Invoker's getting some decent amount farm, level 1, and a nice Sunstrike, able to pick off ROTK. Beautifully done by 716. Nicely timed before the creep wave would come in. And so 716 gonna be able to pick up some levels, and a farmed Invoker is pretty powerful, so he's starting to redeem himself a little bit in this lane. Templar Assassin, pretty low mana, he should not go on defensive, and has the invisibility rune. Will he blink out? No, as Burning just gonna keep farming it up and keep scaring away the opposing team. But yeah, 20 minutes, time to do a Burning creep check. Oh wait, he will have 150 S, my god.
I think
150 CS.
in Dota 1 back when in 2010 when it was really much more farm centric than it is now, the burning mark was, I believe, 300 creeps at 28 minutes, and he could consistently get that. So I'm curious to see if he gets that this game.
I'm pretty sure it was 200 by 20 minutes, because 300...
Did I say 300?
You did. Yeah.
My bad.
200 is 7 or 8 a minute. 300 would just be like 12 to 15.
Yeah, that's
something,
like more
something.
than 10 a minute. That's absurd. Yeah, I meant to say 200.
Yasha being picked up by Burning. Gonna go for that Manta style. ROTK still pretty close to Blink Dagger, 500 golden bank. Just checking out the items. I haven't checked out Mineski's items in a bit. Templar Assassin pretty close to finishing the Desolator, so Burning's gonna have to watch out for his armor. That's gonna do a lot of work. Meanwhile, our 716 4-staff phase boots getting pretty mobile, has picked up some levels. RR picking up bracers and smoking a seat with wards as usual. Meanwhile, Jojo almost at the Aghanims, picked up the Aghanims just now. And Earthshaker. One thing about Peanut Earthshakers, they pick up Blink Daggers when you least expect it. You just keep your eyes off them for a little bit, and then bam, they have a Blink Dagger. And they do a nice job in terms of getting their Earthshaker far enough. So, Mineski, they're not out of it, but they do have to be concerned.
Yeah. It's all about TA right now, but Invoker, he got himself back into the game, so maybe he can get some great meteors on Anti-Mage. We'll see how it plays out.
Yep, and unfortunately for Mineski, DK is playing very, very smart, constantly staying as 2 or 3, and only leaving out Burning and ROTK to farm out the lanes. ROTK picking up his Blink Dagger, Burning, of course, pretty survival. Not to TA, but still, if Burning gets initiated on, he's always in tower, and she's farming the jungle very safely. So TA cannot go for those ISO ganks, and that's one of the problems with TA. She's a decent teamfight carry, but she really thrives on those ganks and the initiation.
Oh, absolutely. And it's kind of interesting. We saw Burning completely skip Lightning this game. I guess he felt like he didn't need it. Sometimes we see that. It just makes him more tanky if you choose stats over it instead. But I think he's just trying to survive against the Quap and TA.
Yeah, and he does have 1500 HP. He picks up a Cloak of Defiance rather than finishing the Bloodstone. In fact, going back into Ogre Club. So it's going to go for a BKB, looks like, as Quinnipian gets picked off after doing pretty much nothing to that tower. So a little bit unfortunate for Jojora. Burning is wicked sick, but yeah, super. Getting tanky. Not going for the Bloodstone, so he's just getting all the tank items in the book, saying screw any other completed items, so I'm just going all out tank. And this is a pretty smart choice. I mean, Bloodstone would be pretty effective nonetheless, but still, in terms of just raw survival, just going all the tank items you possibly can get, pretty good.
It's a good way to do it. And we see some counter warding going on from Mineski mid. They're trying to get control of the center of the map, which is, I think, very important. If they get control of that opposing hill, they'll be able to go into the jungle, and it's much more easy to gank the jungle. So...
And it's going to be pretty dangerous for Anti-Mage now because TA does have the Desolator and he will die very, very quickly to a couple hits because Anti-Mage only has, well, just finished the Manta, but before that had around 950 HP. Now it has 1300 HP, so it'll be a bit more survivable. But still, TA with Desolator cannot be messed with. And there aren't really too many damage over times that can dispel it, and looks like Shadow Demon smartly decided to get max poison rather than maxing the Soul Catcher, so that poison will do a bit of residual damage, and will do a bit in terms of removing that refraction, which is also important, especially since TA does not have the Aegis. So this TA is going to become a pretty big factor unless DK starts picking up Ghost Scepters. So we'll see how Mineski decides to approach this. Looks like they're just content to farm it out with Burning. And I'm not really too sure this favors. I guess it favors DK, but still, Invoker and TA I think might be able to outcarry an Anti-Mage together.
I think that they can outcarry an Anti-Mage together. I think that they have to have more items than they do and able to do it. Normally at 22 minutes, like if you see a well-farmed Anti-Mage, we'll have the Battle Fury Treads Manta, and that's pretty good. Burning has that plus Vlad's plus 2k. So really, they're gonna have to outplay him because he's just going to get really tanky or get the BKB up should he choose to do so. Um, they can outcarry him, but at this point, I think they'll have to outplay him.
Yep, and of course they have to mess with all four of the other heroes on DK as they're all smoked up. They're coming in for the gank as Burning is going to be such an easy bait. Is going to give up the Aegis, but now DK is going to come in. They're going to get complete back control. ROTK blinks with a 4-man Dream Coil, sticking everybody in place. Urshick could not even get off his ultimate, even with the Blink Dagger. T is going to be the next one to fall. DK played that perfectly, saying, Mineski, here's a nice juicy anti-mage. Just left it all by his lonesome. We're just going to smoke up and come gank you. And that Dream Coil just destroyed everybody with that Lich Chain Frost and the DK Super Edict and Post Noah. So Mineski fell for the bait.
Yeah, well, they did outplay the anti-mage once, and then he came back.
It was all mind
killed
games. Mind games. You wanted to think you could outplay the anti-mage. Oh, man.
But I was impressed with how well they chained their stuns together. It was done perfectly. But then, you know, the rest of the team came in and they, for the janitors, they cleaned them up.
And unfortunately for Mineski, a team like DK or any professional team these days, they would have noticed the Blink Dagger on Earthshaker. So they're going to be spreading out now, because I don't think they did notice before they went to that gank. They didn't have the wards and they didn't have heroes in there. And they're just going to back up. They don't want to mess with that Echo Slam, especially without the Anti-Mage Aegis. So they're going to be content to farm up and finish up their items, as I think Super pretty close to finishing whatever item he decides to go for. So DK looking in top-notch shape, and Mineski, that TA managed to survive it quite a while and did a lot of damage, but still, without his teammates, cannot solo a team. You know, Invoker goes for a Mystic Staff, so going to try to go pick up a Hex, which I do think is the right move. But whether he'll be able to finish it, that's another matter entirely.
Yeah, I think that it's a good choice for him not to go for Axe this game, and most QE Invokers don't, actually. They prefer the Hex. But we have a gank going on top. Leshrac gets initiated on. Sunstrike goes out. Edict and Echo Slam. And he melted really fast.
Bit of a...
Well, they know he has the dagger now. They definitely know.
Yeah, bit of a weird Echo Slam in my opinion. I think they could have killed Leshrac, maybe not before TPs could have come in, but now they're going to have to avoid teamfights for a while. And ROTK Puck, just very, very dangerous with that Dream Coil. But still, any kill you can get at this point in the game is a solid kill, especially on your number 2 hero, which is Leshrac in this case. So
absolutely.
Meanwhile, Burning just going to farm up with that Mantis style. Look at that tower just taking so much damage. TA has a Deso. Will he go for BKB now? It would probably be the wise decision. Or will he go for aggressive behavior? I think in this case Mineski will go for the BK, because they really are relying on that TA just to take on the Anti-Mage. And it'll be pretty difficult if he doesn't have a BKB.
Like I said, I agree with everything you said. At this point, I think he needs a BKB to engage to his full potential.
You know, Lich picks up a Ghost Scepter, going to reduce the TA, but still has to worry about the Queen of Pain Sonic Wave. And Anti-Mage has a BKB. So, yeah. it's looking a little bit grim for Mineski, but still, they have the team fight heroes, they have the momentum based on it, they can still take it, but the problem is DK is a team that doesn't really leave themselves open to many mistakes. So, I mean, when they get ahead, they get ahead. And their only problems in their losing spree is just their picks and their playstyle. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. They have ROTK captaining right now, who's a fairly practiced captain, but a lot of times what just happens is that they'll do picks, and maybe it's because I'm not understanding them, but it won't make any sense to me and I won't see any of the synergy. So it's probably me, because these guys are 100 times more knowledgeable than I am, but I think sometimes their teams really do lack synergy. That's obviously not the case this time. We have the Dream Coil into Lich Ultimate, we have the 4 Protect 1 setup, it's working really well.
Meanwhile, Super, what you got, man? 1100 gold in the bank, still having the naked boots of speed for potential boots of travel in the late game, but does have the Mithril Hammer, only about 200 gold from finishing his BKB, so he'll be able to have it soon. And I think once Leshrac and Anti-Mage have their BK, and once the next Roshan is up, which it is, I think DK will go for the Roshan and then go for an eventual push. Because even when you're far ahead, you don't want to give up any sort of edge against a team like Mineski, who can definitely come back if the cards play it right.
Yeah, the issue with playing against a team like Mineski, who likes to get in your face and do it fast and when it's not expected, is if you're playing like a safe play style, if you get one person out for too long, you're going to get initiated on, somebody's going to get killed, and then it's going to steamroll out of control from there. So really what we're seeing right now is a team that's playing it safe against a team that doesn't want to play it safe. And it's kind of interesting. They're moving around the board kind of like chess pieces, attacking different areas of the map. So top lane, we're going to see a disruption out on Queen of Pain, but she's going to blink away immediately. Puck's going to follow. He's going to Dream Coil her. Anti-Mage follows immediately, and Edict's going to take her down.
Yep, Queen of Pain had a haster in the ball, but Puck with the Dream Coil just holding Queen of Pain in place. Queen of Pain going to be dead for the next minute, and DK's just going to take this time to farm up more. But yeah, just to go back to sort of the Mineski playstyle, when they're behind, they don't save for buyback at all. They just save for items. And I think that's a pretty controversial way of playing it because with buyback you might have the chance of coming back, but picking up just mass items, I do think it's an interesting take on thing, and I do think it does fit Mineski's playstyle. Just go for all or nothing team fight.
More of an all-in, yeah.
If you're gonna lose a team fight, you're gonna lose it anyway, regardless of buybacks. Well, maybe not in all cases. But BKB is up on super. They're going to take the Roshan control very, very soon as Burning's going to push the creepy equilibrium. 3k gold in the bank, and once he picks up the Aegis, he can start going for his next big item. Or he might just save for buyback. Who knows? This is a Chinese team at their best right now.
Engage going on in top lane, it looks like. Super's going to turn on the BKB, but he's going to get Earthshaker fissured. It's not going to block. And oh, wow, that's a lot of damage dealt fast. That's going to be Roshan.
Yep, Chain Frost didn't even have to use Dream Coil, Split Earth caught both heroes. And no, it might not even be Roshan. DK just... They saw LGD versus MUC, where LGD lost. Let MUC breathe too long. They know how unpredictable Southeast Asians can play. So I think they're just going to take it to them. Earthshaker does have the Echo Slam.
Or at least get a Rax.
Yep. Earthshaker does have the Echo Slam when he responds, but without the TA, it's going to be very, very difficult for Mineski to defend this. And TA will be dead before DK can, start backing away.
Something that I think is interesting is that they don't have a map. Oh, Meteor coming out, doing some... Wow, that's a lot of harass on Burning. He stood in the fire for a long time, but the Quap ES is going to hurt if they're going to go, and they have to go soon. We have the Spirits reducing Burning's armor. Oh no, he gets saved by the disruption. Dream Coil goes out, CM's going to fall immediately. Invoker's getting hit by the BKB to Anti-Mage. ES Slam goes out. They're all so low, but no one can finish the job. They have no damage dealer. Quap goes back in, she blinks to follow. Anti-Mage is just going to kill her. Burning is now godlike, and it looks like this will be the game.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate. Mineski was so close to taking that T-Bat if they just had TA.
If they had TA, they would have gotten all the kills. They have so much AoE. I was trying to say before the team fight started, they have so much AoE damage, and DK has no pipe mech, which is kind of, Chinese playstyle. But they just need a little bit more, and they didn't have it because TA was picked. So I like the decision to not get Roshan and just try to end the game off of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate for... just what a play by... who was that? Was that Zippo with the Shadow Demon? Disrupting the Sonic Wave.
The Anti-Mage. That was so
disrupting
good.
the Sonic Wave. And I think Anti-Mage was Soul Catchered. So Anti-Mage would have been dead for sure to that Sonic Wave Soul Catcher
Anti-Mage was Soul Catchered?
Oh no, Shadow Demon's on the other side. Well, still, Anti-Mage would have taken a lot of damage, and he would have been hit by a physical harassment by the Invoker. He did get Hex as well. Invoker finished the Hex, but still was not enough. They just need a little bit more oomph. And Earthshaker Echo Slam definitely did its job. It caught 3 heroes, did a lot of damage to the 3 backline heroes. But unfortunately, without the TA, just not enough follow-up damage. And that one pick-off on that bottom lane might have just caught Mineski the game. And with the easy Aegis being picked up by Burning, no, it looks like Mineski, they want to fight this. They know if they give up the Aegis to Burning, looks like Jay's going to blink in, does huge amount of damage with the side blades to the left track on the back of the Burning, and looks like Jay's just going to ignore the teamfight, going to go for the Roshan. I do not like this decision whatsoever, as Jay going to go for the Roshan. I don't think he'll be able to even kill it. No, he will be able to kill it, but still 2 allies die in the midst of all that.
And TA picks up the Aegis.
Jay is just...
blinks it and finishes it and takes it. That is a cheeky play.
Yo, I don't know. I think they had the surprise. Well, actually, that might have been the smartest choice, just because the items on the other heroes are too low leveled. I was gonna say I think I'd rather TA just stick with the team fight, but going for the Roshan, I guess, was a more easy way. I think if they gave up the Aegis to Anti-Mage, would have been all over. But now I guess they have sort of a chance. They have Echo Slam up. So how will DK approach this? Anti-Mage does not have buyback. Picked up the Abyssal Blade. So wow.
That's gonna hurt.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Quap isn't level 16. Oh no, Echo Slam, so much damage. Meteor Deafening Blast. TA's coming in with the trap. Super is almost gonna go down. He's gonna live. No, he's gonna go down to the TA hit. And it looks like we're gonna lose Shadow Demon and Leshrac for none. Oh no, the Leshrac, excuse me, the Earthshaker went down for that. But it was a beautiful initiation and completely worth it.
Yeah, DK surprisingly getting caught out by initiations by the Earthshaker has definitely been using his ultimate very, very useful. Earthshaker definitely been the MVP for Mineski so far, keeping them in the game. And TA still has the Aegis, so I think it's going to be difficult. And TA has the BKB, but still, Abyssal Blade does go through BKB, as well as the Demonic Purge. So it's going to be annoying for TA to deal with, but does have that 10-second BKB charge, so can withstand a lot of harassment.
And it's so hard to push into a Quap who has level 16 Naganums because you have got that 40-second ultimate. And just clears. Oh, wow. He died before I could even respond. I gotta talk faster if Anti-Mage is gonna hit people that fast. He's going on TA. TA can't do anything. Okay. She is gonna meld. I think Puck's gonna follow her and blink, but she's gonna get out first. It looks like they'll be okay.
They were not expecting that Hex finished by ROTK, who just, I think, recently finished that. And with DK going the advantage, I think they want to push without the Earthshaker ultimate list, even though ROTK, very low mana, is slowly regenerating it up, does have the Dream Coil, which is pretty much all he needs. And this might be the last cry for Mineski. Earthshaker ultimate, how much? Oh, 50 seconds before it cools down. Earthshaker just going to be, bait, tries to TP out, and then just gets initiated on
And they're just going to hit the racks. I don't think they can contend this.
Yep. Glyph is popped. TA does that Aegis. Can she go on the offensive? Yes, she will. They're focusing down TA. Jay is just taking so much damage. Drops the Chain Frost as well. Looks like Jojo and RR are going to be the first ones to die. TA respawns with the Aegis. Earthshaker going to be the next one to fall. Slowly but surely, Mineski's getting picked off. TA respawns with the BKB before staff as Jay picks off the Shaodin, but still is outside the base, and now she's caught in no man's land. Needs to defend the base, but unfortunately she's out of it, and now Anti-Mage and Super just going to melt down these barracks. Bloodstone finished by Super, getting a lot of charges. And Mineski fought valiantly, but still might have been too little too late as Invoker takes the fall. Burning just going beyond godlike. 12 0 8, 360 CS, my god, 12,
Oh dear lord.
10 CS a minute, my god, that's ridiculous. And keep in mind, for the last part of the game, he was not farming that much. Yeah.
Great phase shift from Puck right there to make him live 5 seconds. Oh, make him live and kill TA. But ultimately, this was a really good game. I liked it. Very high action. So happy to see that from some Asian teams.
I think Templar Assassin is one of those heroes who fares pretty well against the Chinese just because she scales and does a lot of physical burst damage. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Templar plays out in the metagame. And if I can get my hands on that Orange Esports or that Zenith Templar Assassin match, I will try to bring it to you. But anyway, that was a good game. Mineski put up a valiant effort. They definitely were not no means out of it, but a TA Earthshaker combination death on that bottom lane was just too big to overcome. DK pushed in solo HP without the mechanism or piped, but still managed to outlive, and TA could not respond fast enough. So that one mistake, and those Chinese teams are better than most teams at capitalizing on those one little mistakes. Did not go for Roshan, just rather went to seal the deal. And Mineski could not overcome that. So yeah, what a game.
Of course, it helps when you try to punish mistakes when your anti-mage has 800 gold per minute, but
No,
yeah.
it's alright, it's alright. Anyway, thank you all for watching as usual. And thanks again to Shred Kid. Leave constructive feedback in the comments below, as we will be bringing you more games in the future. At least I hope. What do you think, man?
Oh, absolutely. I love casting.
Awesome.
For all 2 games that I've done of it. Looking forward to doing more.
Awesome. So this is just the beginning. So hopefully you'll keep supporting me and keep supporting him. And don't think he has a YouTube at the moment, do you?
No, I have a stream set up. I'm trying to get my YouTube to work. I'm having trouble uploading right now, but...
Well, when it does get up, I'll let you guys know.
All right, sounds good.
All right. As always, thank you all for watching, and have a fantastic night.